All right, welcome back. I tell you what, you see a cafe order like this. Now, you notice that Donit's Rough is, well, you can't see it, but it's running out of time. But we do have time to try it just for a little bit. You might as well give it a try. Chances are we might not get one that big. I don't remember what the size was, 160 or something. But we make pretty good silver down here at this spot because if you do get 2 or 3 Donit's Rough, for an overnight fishing at least, they add up. So I don't mind doing it a little bit more. In fact, during my stream earlier today, if you were there, I say earlier today, this video won't come out for a few days after the day that I streamed, but I did a little bit of fishing in this spot on this account. And we did catch a few nice ones. I think I'm going to go to size 22 hook on all 3. And red worm 11, just like this. Close, open. I am going to do our little trick. Also, let's put one of these on here just for fun. We've got basic bottom on this one. I think we're using basic bottom on all except for one, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, this one's got paternoster. So we want to open it. All right, looks like this one has a river mussel on it. Anytime it swims that far away. Now, if it's zebra mussel, that's good news. And it is. Okay, so remember there was 2 zebra mussel orders as well on the cafe, so that could be good. That could be really good for us. And we're jumping right in here because it's already middle of the night. We have the potential of seeing some hopefully some good fish will come out. All right, let's check all 3 lines here. Been a little quiet. That looks like that is a Donit's Rough. Way too small for the cafe order, but we do love to see it no matter what size they are. And let's just check the other 2 lines really quick. Make sure nothing's going on. I think we're good. Like anytime we get a fish on, like I just want to check all 3 lines real quick. So there's another Donit's Rough. Again, too small, but we'll take it. So that's already some decent silver there. Love to see it. Let's double check these 2. I think the first line might have something going on, or maybe it's just moving the sinker every time I put it down. I guess that's what it is. Okay. Is this one the paternoster one? Got a little bit of a better bite rate going on this back one. Another zebra mussel. That is interesting. There's a rough. Basic bottom, basic bottom. Maybe we go 2 paternoster. So I think we have enough silver now where it's going to be worth. Remember last episode we upgraded these Lacertes. So I think we need to go ahead and spend the little bit of silver that it'll cost to get the larger line, so that we get a little bit more line on our reel, which make it a little harder for us to get spooled. We start thinking about going to Old Berg To fish bream, it's just nice to have a little bit more line on your spool. But the other thing we have, and I really want to at least try a couple spots soon, either at Elk or Belaya, we have upgraded the Siberia Hydra Smart 2 to 4.5 load capacity. So we're getting a lot more strength out of this setup now as well. So it should make it fun to use on Belaya or maybe back on Elk. We'll see. So it's been pretty slow, but that's not unusual for this spot. Now we, unfortunately, will probably start catching perch again pretty soon, but right now, up until this point, overnight, we've just been mostly catching the good stuff here. Which is why I've been sort of pausing it and unpausing during the beginning of this video, because it is a lot of downtime, but the possible reward, especially when there's a double zebra mussel and a single Donit's rough reward, does make it enticing. Wait till this middle rod definitely has a fish on. Okay, looks like it does now. I'm also going to check the other two, and then we'll catch this fish. Unfortunately, it looks like we might be back on the perch, but you never know. I think it's worth going till 6 a.m. just in case. There's a river mussel. Oh no, a zebra. Another zebra. That's 3 zebra in one night. That is pretty cool. And that is on the line that's still basic bottom. We ended up with 2 paternoster and 1 basic bottom. Dace, huh? Okay. Regular rough. Because we have it at this angle, it really hasn't been too bad. We haven't had to... The clip hasn't been messing us up too much because we're not angled too far off to the side, just a little bit. So our bite rate's going to pick up, but mostly that will be because of the perch. Whoa, guess we need to watch our friction brake a little bit there. Oh, the return of the chub. Even though we probably won't stay here long enough for that to catch another fish, might as well throw it in just in case. But we are suddenly getting overrun by roach and chub. And it's 6 a.m. I would say we probably want to... Well, this line did actually get another fish on there, but it is another perch. Let's save time by fast traveling. Let's see if there's anything else at Winding, though. Actually, let's check Mosquito Cafe real quick, just for fun. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else that we just can't pass up on? All right, so this was 150. Is that trophy size zebra mussel? Not even sure. All right, 45 for 18. We'll definitely take that. And like I said, we didn't get close to 164. Oh, we have the 31. I probably did that in the wrong order. It doesn't matter though. 60 gram, 8.79. Ooh, it's close, but it's just barely better to go this way. Just barely. And then we could have gotten that no problem, but we decided not to stay. And another 38 silver, which puts us to 362. Is there anything here that's just like can't miss? I don't think so. It's not actually that good of a cafe lineup right now, is it? I mean, have we ever seen an Elk Lake cafe order or cafe lineup that wasn't pretty good looking? Our poor fisherman is so hungry. It would be nice to, I mean, we do need to level up some stuff like bait harvesting, but well, I will say it's not as good as it is sometimes. All right, let me think about what we want to do real quick. Okay, 87,103, there's a gudgeon spot, but we don't have garlic dough, which is what they want. And so I thought we could try it just for fun on redworms. They will usually bite on redworms as well. It just might not be as reliable. 87,103 and depth around 0.5. So I think, let's see if we can do like a 10-meter clip. Redworm and then probably bloodworm. We want to go 22 redworm. Again, about maybe 55. Let's just see. Let's see if we can get any gudgeon at all like this. All right, redworm's working. I mean, bloodworm's working. We are, something's nibbling, I think, because it's not drifting with the current, right? Or maybe it's, is it the wind? The wind is so bad that it's not drifting right? Now it's drifting with the current. The wind is something serious right now. So when we open up garlic dough, I mean, I don't know if this spot will still be as good, but apparently the gudgeon are just going nuts for garlic dough right now. All right, we did catch something. Looks like it's just a bleak though. Interesting. Okay, do we try redworm then? Did I say redworm? Do we try bloodworm then on our... Just kind of trying this spot out. I mean, it's really more like, okay, if we had a Gudgeon cafe order, I'm not sure that unless it's a really good bite rate that I would say Gudgeon's worth targeting just for the sake of targeting them. It's not quite like Bleak and Dace in my mind because it's usually a slower bite rate, but every once in a while you get some pretty nice Gudgeon cafe orders that would be fun to pursue. That looks like a Gudgeon again. So maybe not on float, but our feeders seem to be working with bloodworm. So maybe we go to 60 depth. Oh, that's like dragging on the bottom. Which maybe that's what we want for Gudgeon. Maybe that's why the bottom feeders are working pretty good. Because they're actually down there at the bottom. And that's definitely why it's not floating with the current too. It's just not doing it on float. Now I do wonder about with garlic dough. That's what people are talking about with the float is with garlic dough. But on feeder it seems to be working with redworm. All right. Boy, this rain is really coming down. Let's see what some of the lures of the week are on grayling and brown trout. I kind of want to go try this spot at Belaya. You know, we upgraded this this spinning setup. So let's look at the weekly brown trout. Okay. Hornet 05. And then what about the grayling? Five, 16, and 6. 52, but we'll try one of them. So thank goodness. I definitely just clicked on the wrong one. That's weird. All right, there we go. What about, so if we know there's grayling and brown trout there, do we even try? I mean, I'm not going to try to float fish at the same time, but what about just on something random on a feeder? Grasshopper. Can't really catch those. Are grasshoppers in stock? Ooh, no they're not. That's crazy. Oh, they are in stock here. Those can be good for chub too, so we'll take a couple of those. All right, so we're going to winding, nope, not winding. We're going to Belaya for the first time. I just want to try this spot out to see if it seems like it's worth. Where's the admin? So 72.59, and we want to face east. Now I have no idea what clip to do on the feeders, but that'll be really slow anyway. If it might be dead. I mean, honestly, like it might not work at all. But let's just try 15. And then all right, and then here we go. See if we can catch anything here at Belaya at the moment. We just picked one of the hornets. I don't know if this is necessarily the best one for bite rate or whatever. But that does look like a small brown trout, right? Which is actually what, no, that's a, yeah, that is a small brown trout. Which is what we're going for. That or grayling would be nice. And we're at 11.7 on spin fishing, and we want to get to 25. We've got a ways to go. I don't know if I actually think we'll... get there or not. So let's see here. We could put another point in spinning reel, which will give us a little bit more casting different distance, since we don't have any points in the spinning rod or whatever. I don't mind perch being active, only in the sense that anything we catch gives us a chance of leveling up spin fishing. Right now we're doing 28 retrieval speed. I think mostly we want to do uniform, but doing a pause every once in a while or doing speed up every once in a while might be worthwhile. And hopefully we're getting a long enough cast. You know, sometimes being able to get it a little farther to the right zone can make all the difference, but we don't have any spare skill points to try to cast farther right now. Like another perch maybe? And the weeklies just recently reset. So we, you know, looking on the weeklies list didn't actually, it's not actually that much data that we're seeing represented. So it's hard to know. I'll give those a little bit longer, but it looks like those aren't really doing anything. It's been so long since I fished at Belaya. I mean, I have no idea what's working or what's not working. Especially in terms of like once it gets to be nighttime. But let's see what the cafe is doing. Oh, these grayling orders. There is a small perch order. There's a little brown trout. Let's just check out this spot in here as well. Brown trout. Now you can also do float fishing here at Belaya, but you really want bolo or match rods so you can cast it farther out. Because a lot of these same species that we're catching on these little spinners will also do pretty good on float setups. All right, that's a little grayling right at the end there. 737. I don't remember what the 2 from 800. Really like seeing fish on the drop like that. Little grayling. A lot of times, I mean, if you can find a spot like this where it seems like it's decent bite rate, a lot of times the best fish are going to be in that like 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. or something. So if you're getting a few here, even though they might not be the size you want them to be, it might be worth trying again in the morning at sort of ideal spin fishing time. On the drop again. And this is where having that extra power in the reel helps. That is a little chub though. Old brown trout. Let's see what we're trying to catch here on grasshopper. Oh, it's a little eyed. It's hard to catch the things that we're wanting to catch on bottom feeders. It almost is never very good. Now you can cast on the other side of Belaya and catch a lot of the same stuff you might catch at Mosquito or whatever. But over here, it's tough. One thing people do over here is at night they'll try to catch burbot on feeders, but besides that, not a lot of love for feeders over here. Oh, it popped off. Little perch. 20-meter cast. That looks like a nice little brown trout. Yeah, that's getting there. Whatever that was, it was small, so I guess we're okay with that popping off. That's even smaller. That 800 grams? Nope. like one perch away from that silly order. Huh. That is a big old river mussel. Hmm. So we unlocked fishing with a spoon, which can be interesting, like trolling quarry, which I guess it won't be that long if it won't be that long in terms of level. Now, about purchasing the gear to troll at quarry, I don't know about that. Um, so other than that, I'm not sure that that necessarily benefits us too soon. See what this is. Grayling. Definitely 800 grams. Chub? Chub again. They are more active at night. All right, let's see here. That's a nice brown trout. So we have seen, I mean, it's been painful, like, in some ways, because a lot of the day we really weren't catching much of anything worthwhile. But like I said, like if you're here in the very beginning of the day and then at the very end of the day, you're more likely to see at least a handful of decent fish. That's kind of how Belaya works. And then every once in a while, a spot will really take off, and then it feels like you can more fish it all day. But something's been on this feeder for a minute. I'm just trying to get every cast in I can before it just, eventually it's much harder to catch fish on spin fishing at night. You still can. Grayling somewhat, chub definitely active at night still, but it just gets worse and worse. I think both feeders might have fish on now. Let's check that out. All right, let's see what grasshopper caught this time. Is it another eyed or something else? Looks like an eyed, yeah. And then this is just regular worm, which there's so many things that can catch. Oh, gudgeon. Random gudgeon. That sounds about right. That sounds cool. You can hear it echoing in the chamber. I mean, in the cavern. Let's see here. So we are one short of this, and just look at that silver. 67 silver. That's the thing. And then we're one short of that, but that's not that much silver. I'm not really worried about that. 130 silver. Not bad. Some of those are from Belaya. Mostly it's from here, though. Brown trout and grayling really add up. 130. It's not bad. We're up to 400 silver. Not too shabby.